What's up, guys? It's Crypto Clay here, and today I'm going to be bringing you some crypto news and some crypto market sentiment, a little bit of a crypto update, just talking about the market. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, the first thing that I wanted to talk about today is the actual crypto market, and this is something that I just drew up real quick. This is the chart for Bitcoin, one-day chart. I drew the resistance and the support trend lines that we are currently seeing on the one-day chart, and then I drew my own support line right here. As you can see, it's currently around the 7,200 mark, and if we fall below that line, I think we could definitely see lower lows than what we've already seen, but I really don't think it's going to fall below that line, guys. I don't. And the reason is because we've had so much good fundamental news over the past couple of weeks that I really don't know why the market is not going up at this point. And I think it's because there's still some accumulation going on. I think that big investors are trying to get Bitcoin as cheap as possible before we see the next bull run. I really think that's what's going on here. So I've talked to a lot of people that are getting really down and depressed because the market has just continuously been going down, and it makes complete sense to me. However, if you've been in this market long enough, you know that this happens. And the last time this happened, it dragged out for 2 years. We were in a bear market for 2 years. And do I think that this is the same thing that's going on? No, I don't. To be honest, guys, I really don't. Because we've had so much more adoption since that time. A lot more people are invested in this now. A lot more people know about it. Back in 2014, you'd be very surprised if you walked up to somebody and asked them if they knew what Bitcoin was, and they could tell you exactly what it was. I know personally I was very surprised any time I spoke to somebody that even knew or had ever heard of Bitcoin. So today you have Bitcoin on CNBC and other news stations talking about it. You know, you have really important people saying that Bitcoin is going to be the currency that everybody uses one day in a few years, saying that on live television. So there's so much more at play here than there was back in 2014, and realize that was only 4 years ago, guys. So we've come this far in 4 years. So I really don't think we're going to have another 2 years of a bear market. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, could we see lower lows than we've seen over the past week? Yes, we definitely could. Do I think that we're going to see below 6K again? I don't. I really don't, guys. There's just too much going on in the market. There's too many good things coming out. You guys know that I'm a fundamentalist, and the fundamentals just don't support us going below 6K again. They don't. Now, I realize we're staring at a chart right now, and you guys are taking a look at this, and you're like, oh my God, we're in a downtrend. And you're not wrong. If you take a look at this chart alone, you could clearly see that we are in a downtrend. But you have to factor in everything else. You can't just take a look at this chart and say, oh, we're in a downtrend and we're going to continue going down. One of my moderators in my Discord server, he and I completely disagree on this. He thinks that we're going to see a slow bleed off of all cryptocurrencies, and all of the investors that got in at the top are just going to lose all of their money. And I could see why he would feel that way because it's just such a bloodbath right now. But the thing is the crypto market always bounces back. And, you know, my buddy has not been in the crypto market that long and hasn't seen one of these sell-offs before. But you also have to realize that the reason for the last sell-off like this was because the largest Bitcoin exchange in the world was hacked and everybody lost all of their money. So we haven't seen anything like that since that time. We've had other hacks like the NEM hack, which clearly affected the market in a big way, but it didn't take away the majority of Bitcoins that were traded at that time, like it did back in 2014 with the Mt. Gox hack. So just keep those things in mind, guys. I really think that with all of the censorship that is going on, with all of the privacy leaks that we've had on Facebook and things like that, people are really going to start searching for things that allow them to hold their privacy and make sure that they're in control of their own lives. And blockchain technology allows them to do that. So please keep those things in mind, guys. All right, let's just jump right into the news for the day. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was this article on Merkle survey. 71% of all cryptocurrency exchanges fail password security audit. So this right here is one reason why I think that people should be moving towards decentralized exchanges. This right here alone is one good reason to move to decentralized exchanges, because if your password is compromised on a centralized exchange, then you have the potential to lose all of your funds, especially if you don't have two-factor authentication set up. If you don't have two-factor authentication set up, then you're doing it wrong, first of all. You need to set up two-factor authentication on any centralized exchange that you're using. But beyond that, the only thing that is safeguarding your funds is a password and potentially two-factor authentication if you have it set up. And if your password is compromised, then people have access to your funds. So maybe start to look at this and start to realize that decentralized exchanges are the way of the future and that we should be using them on a day-to-day basis. This is just one more reason for that. But also, be very cautious of centralized exchanges that you're using. Make sure that you're constantly changing your passwords. Make sure that you're keeping an eye and monitoring where people are logging into your account. Make sure that you are the only IP address that is logging into your account. A lot of these exchanges show you your login history. So pay attention to that and know exactly who it is that's logging into your account. Okay, next up. On CNBC, college students use financial aid money to invest in Bitcoin. If you are a college student and you are using financial aid money to buy Bitcoin, you are doing it wrong. Please do not do that, guys. Especially if everybody is right and the bear market is going to continue. That is a terrible idea. You're supposed to be using that money to fund your education. And education is important. You should not be using that money to invest in Bitcoin. Now, do I think that investing in Bitcoin is a smart strategy for investing? Yes, I do. I would never tell you not to invest in Bitcoin unless you're borrowing money to do so. It doesn't make sense to use money that's supposed to be used for your education purposes to buy Bitcoin. Please do not do this, guys. If you are a college student, please do not use your funds, your tuition funds to buy Bitcoin. Make sure you get your education. All right, next up. NEM Foundation calls off chase for stolen coins from $530 million coin check hack. So the hackers that stole all of the funds from CoinCheck have moved all of the funds out of their wallet and onto exchanges and probably sold off for whatever currency they want to use. And so the NEM Foundation has called off the chase and is no longer looking into it, which is really unfortunate for all of the people that lost their funds. Again, this is another reason why centralized exchanges should stop being used. And, you know, if you had money on CoinCheck and you lost it, I really do feel for you, because I've been there before and I know how that feels. But everybody has to learn their lessons the hard way. You know, you have to lose those funds and realize what you did wrong to make sure that you don't do it again sometimes. And a lot of people learned the hard way here, and it's unfortunate, but the NEM Foundation is no longer looking for those funds. So these people will probably never see their money ever again. The last thing that I wanted to talk about today was South Korean investors to buy crypto exchange Bitstamp for $400 million. So this is another really bullish sign, in my opinion. If you have investors that want to buy a cryptocurrency exchange, then they obviously believe that there's going to be enough volume to risk that much money in investing in an exchange. So keep that in mind, guys. Like, we're talking about these technical indicators that show that the market is going down, but then we have all these fundamental indicators that show that the market is actually headed for an uptrend. If you have investors that want to buy an exchange because they think that they're going to make a decent profit on their investment, then they obviously believe that there's going to be enough volume out there for them to support their investment. So please keep that in mind. I continue to talk about things that I think are great fundamental reasons that the market is headed towards a good direction. People keep trying to throw technical indicators in my face, and that's fine. I like to look at both, and I definitely agree that technically speaking, we do not look very primed for another bull run. However, you have to take a look at the entire picture, guys. So take a look at things like this and realize that this is a really good sign. We have large capital investors moving into the market. That's exactly what this is. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I talked about today, please leave them in the comment section below or join our Discord server at Crypto Market Investments. I will put the link to the Discord server in the description below. Come and join us. We're always looking for more people to add to the chat. That's going to be it for today, guys. Crypto Clay out.